All right, guys, I'm sitting here speaking to Lezley McSpadden. It's such an honor to talk to you. Tell me a little bit, we're going into election time. A couple days from now, everyone has to get out and vote. Mm-hmm. You are running for city council. A little bit about why it's so important for people to get out and vote this time.
Well, it's absolutely important to get out and vote so that your voices can be heard and that you understand that you matter and what means the most to you matter when it comes to politics, policies, and community policing. Anything that has to do with the government, we have a say-so. And I don't think we as a people understood that for many, many years, that our voices matter and that we do have the right to speak up and say what we want and what we need in our communities. And in St. Louis, Missouri, we have seen that voting does count and matter because we now have a new prosecutor. We had the same prosecutor for over 20 years and no one thought that they could change. We now know that they can change, and not only do we have a new prosecutor, but we have a new African-American prosecutor.
You have experienced great loss, and without even having a city council position yet, you have made some great impacts. You have made a huge difference in our country in bringing awareness to, the things that are important in all of our communities. So why did you feel that going for city council was so important at this time?
Well, at this time, it's because the seat is open and I can run. But what's most important is that I will define my son's legacy.
Yes.
Not the media, not Ferguson, or the events the way they want to explain the way they have to. Him, me, his mother, I'm sorry. I want to define my son's legacy, and this is one of the first steps to building the word justice for my son. So it was very important for me to go back to the city where it happened and let them know what pain, grief, and mourning looks like, because they tried to cover it up like it never happened. But I'm still here, my other children are here, and we are very much affected by what they did to my son. And I use the word they because I don't like to say his name, but he knows and they know who he is.
Yeah, and it really is a matter of they, because we're talking about a mentality and we're talking about a culture.
Yes,
we're talking about things that have been epic in this nation for centuries. So it's not even just one person.
Yes.
It is they.
You're right.
We cannot understand the amount of grief that you have experienced, but I have to tell you, thank you so much for your strength and continuing to be in this fight, because you didn't have to.
Thank you.
You did not have to do that. You could have left that up to the other people, the other people that are already in office or people who haven't experienced what you've experienced. But it means so much more, coming from you. And so thank you, because that's the strength of a black woman for sure. And that's why you're being honored today as a woman of impact, because that's impact.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, this honor and how this honor makes you feel.
When she reached out to me, I was just ecstatic. I felt overwhelmed because there's no awards for the activism or being a mother. I'm a mother first. And people ask me about being an activist, and I say, hey, I never knew I was an activist. That's my baby. That's my son, my firstborn. I'm just being a mother. But when you're recognized for something that you don't even know you're doing, as you just spoke so highly of me, and thank you, sweetie, that's a good thing, and it lets you know that you are doing the right thing. Because in these circumstances, people say black and white, and I look at right and wrong.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Miss Tanisha, and you all for noticing the right that I'm doing, because sometimes we don't even know if it's the right thing to do.